Remember guys, I'm sponsored by EnergyBears.gg. Use promo code TNEC127 for 5% off your orders at EnergyBears.gg. Enjoy the video.
Smith, bitch, I ain't feeling legendary. This young boy is a problem, you should call it in. Yeah, he's kicking down the doors, Jim Morrison.
Gamers and gamettes, what is going on? My name is TNEC127 and welcome to my first impressions video on the game Necropolis for the PlayStation 4, PC, and the Xbox One. Here specifically in this video though, I'm going to be doing first impressions specifically on the console version, very specifically on the PlayStation 4. But keep in mind the features in both PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One versions are very, very similar. Same bonuses, same extras, same add-ons, same controls and stuff like that. Just a preference of your specific platform. And anyway guys, I do want to put a big disclaimer in here right now, and keep in mind that this video is not a review. This is simply a first impressions video, giving my thoughts on the game and stuff like that. And, you know, just telling you guys a little bit about the title, letting you guys know if it's worth your time and your money and things like that. A review will come out once I've had a more in-depth matter to play with the game and stuff like that at a later date. But anyway guys, enough babbling on, let's get into the video. So Necropolis straight up is a rogue-like RPG. Long story short, make that simple, you know, for people who don't understand, it's similar to Dark Souls, and Necropolis nails that. The thing is, Necropolis is very similar to Dark Souls all the way down to the control scheme. But the thing is, it's a very different type of game. What they don't show you and what they don't advertise a lot with this game that kind of threw me off is it's a permadeath game. Meaning, you die, the game's over. That's it. There's no, there's no second chances. There's no going hollow. There's no spawning back at a bonfire. No. Your save data is gone. You have a brand new file. So please make sure you guys, you look out for that and stuff like that. And my honest recommendation, if it's first time you're playing this game, do one of two things. Either A, play with a friend, or B, play as the Brute. Now I'm not gonna lie, the difference between the two starter characters, the Brute and the smaller one, the Brute, no lie, nearly puts this game on easy. I would honestly recommend the Brute class for beginners. He's a little slow, but he just has a crap ton of HP. And I'm talking like there are times, where I'll just run in here, tank enemies, just take all sorts of damage. Like I was getting jumped by, like, I kid you not, 5 or 6 of those golden knight guys, and I was eating it. I was just tearing them a new one. I was just sitting there, spamming my ultra attack over and over and over again until they were all dead. Now what I do like about this game that makes it a little bit different from Dark Souls and other roguelike RPGs is the fact that they have a crafting system in here, which is in games like Dark Souls and stuff like that. There's a crafting system, but there's also a crazy like survival system, kind of like things you see in games like Minecraft, 7 Days to Die and stuff like that. You have to keep your stamina regenerated by eating every so often, and and stuff like that. You guys know how, like, when you play Minecraft, you have to eat food to keep your character from losing health and stuff like that. When here you have to eat food constantly, to keep yourself from losing stamina. All that stuff affects you, how your attributes are in battle and everything. And I think that's a really cool feature. Now the only things that that bugs me about this game, in all honesty, is it feels somewhat clunky. Now I don't know if it's like that on PC. This is just speaking from experience with the console version. So PC players, if your game doesn't really feel clunky, then please don't take offense to that that little statement I made or whatever. But the console version really does feel a little bit clunky to me. It's not too clunky. It is a pretty smooth experience overall. The lock-on system works great. The controls are very responsive. However, I just feel like a lot of the attacks and stuff in here are really broad. I mean, like, they leave you like wide open, for enemies to just to smack you and stuff like that. And that's not even just on the big slow Brute class. That's also with the smaller rogue ninja light armored swordsman class as well. I can't remember the name of that class, so please forgive me for not referring to that class by name. But yeah, that's really one of my only complaints. I haven't got too far into the game, but the only other thing that kind of bugs me is a lot of the environments kind of look similar. Now, even though the cool thing about this game is it's randomly generated dungeons. You're never going to have the same game twice, ever. Every time you die, you come back and it's a completely different experience. The dungeons have changed, the enemies have changed. You know, there's different weapons laying around. It's all kinds of weird stuff. You know, every single time you die, which leads me to, you know, a cool thing that I'm wondering is and you know, I don't know this for a fact. You know, like I said, I haven't played the whole game through yet. Is it makes me wonder if, you know, if every time you actually beat the game, do you start another playthrough and, you know, you get access to, you know, a whole new dungeon. You know, since it works that way when you die, I wonder if it works that way when you complete the game too. And if that's the case, you know, that'll be really cool to give you a chance, you know, to explore all new weapons, armor, enemies, and stuff like that each time you play. So it can actually add for some pretty decent replay value. But anyway, let's talk a little bit more about the negatives. And the last positive thing before we get into that, I'm sorry for, you know, bringing this up last minute. The graphics actually are pretty good. There was a little bit of frame rate issues, kind of some, you know, lagginess and stuff like that, but the game, you know, just came out literally a day ago, so I'm not going to, you know, knock it down too much for anything like that. You know, it's probably just, you know, some type of launch issue. I'm sure that, you know, we patched up in a patch and stuff like that. But anyway, guys, let's get into the negatives. So like I said, the game does feel a little bit clunky and things like that. That kind of bothers me a little bit. Another thing is the attacks seem like really too exaggerated and slow in here. I feel like, you know, it just purposely puts you at a disadvantage. Instead of making, you know, the enemies just flat out more difficult, they make your characters' attacking patterns a little crappy. And I personally, you know, feel like that, you know, that's kind of a more of a thing, a little bit on the lazy side more than anything. That's just my personal opinion. Another thing is the co-op system in here kind of bugs me, just for, you know, this one specific reason. You guys put out, you know, a Dark Souls game, kind of, you know, like teaser and stuff like that, but there is really no true way to do co-op in this game, besides if, you know, if you have friends that play this game at all. There's no way, you know, to link up with random people. There's, you know, no way to host a lobby or anything like that. Your only option for co-op, or at least that I've seen, so please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, is to have friends that play this game. And that, you know, especially for a game of, you know, this high of difficulty, and, you know, people who don't have experience in this type of game, that can be a bad thing and, you know, a pretty big turnoff. So honestly, one recommendation, if I can give it to, you know, to the developers and, you know, tell them to do this eventually and stuff like that, please add, you know, an option for like open lobbies and stuff in here, stuff like that. You know, let players, you know, team up, work together. You know, the cool thing about Dark Souls, you know, the reason the experience is so epic is because, like, when you summon somebody, besides looking at that little stupid, you know, outline of their shade sign, you don't know what kind of, you know, player you're gonna get. You know, you have to learn to, you know, adapt to somebody new. It actually gives you that feeling, you know, of loneliness, you know, and working with an actual stranger. And I really think, you know, that would be a pretty cool add-on to see in here. I'm not saying, you know, throw summon signs and stuff like that in Necropolis. No. I'm saying just, you know, give people an open option for co-op. That's my honest, you know, only really big gripe with the game. So in all honesty, guys, I think it's a decent game so far. It's not too bad, you know. It's not perfect so to say. Do I think it's worth the $30 though? I'm going to be a little bit edgy about that. I honestly think, you know, this game should be $15, maybe $20 at the most, but half the price of a full retail game. Nah, especially, you know, if you know, just switching up the quests and the areas a little bit, you know, is the game's true replay value and stuff like that. I don't think personally this, you know, you should pay $30 for this game. And if you plan to, in my honest opinion, either find a friend that has it, play it off somebody, or, you know, or watch a bunch of guides, reviews on it and stuff like that to make sure, you know, this is the kind of thing you want to dive into. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but there is a lot of things, you know, different that, you know, that you might not quite be prepared for, that I think, you know, people should get a look at in an in-depth, you know, knowledge source before they go and dive into this title. But anyway, guys, if this video helped you, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I want to thank you all so much for watching. It's your boy Tnek127, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.